get this straight. Venus Williams gets married and suddenly the internet turns into approved council of internet black love. Yes, because apparently in 2025, black women can have their own career, win grand slams, build business empires, and rewrite history. But when it comes to choosing a husband for themselves, if you're a successful black woman, oh no. You require the black approval. Well, not just only black, you require public approval to choose a spouse for yourself. Now, this backlash that Venus is going through is not subtle. It's given we supported you to win all these grand slams until you didn't marry the person that we picked for you. And that's when you realize that this isn't about interracial marriage. It's about the audacity of the Williams sister to marry who they decided to marry. Venus did not ask for permission. She did not run a poll. She did not consult the Twitter elders or the YouTube relationship coaches who, like me, have a microphone and they're skilled in trauma. All Venus Williams has done is live. And suddenly people are talking about her selling out. As if Venus Williams, who is in her 40s, who survived racism, sexism on the court and being consistently compared to her sister, even though she's as good as her sister, somehow needs validation from internet strangers who have access to Wi-Fi and a microphone. Let's be clear, nobody keeps this same energy for anyone else. Like, black men marry whoever they want to marry. But as soon as a black woman decides to marry outside her race, it becomes a big problem. Oh, we expected you to carry the culture, the trauma, the relationship, the politics. Please. And the funniest part is some of these people yelling all of these things do not even know who Venus Williams is. They're not paying her bills. They're not inviting her to a party. They're not feeding her. And they definitely were not invited to her wedding. So what is the real issue here? The real issue is control. Yes, it is control, because some people are uncomfortable when a black woman is wealthy, unbothered, loved, and not asking for permission to do anything from anyone. She's not asking for permission to be happy. She didn't abandon anyone. She didn't erase her identity. She simply chose peace over performance. And honestly, that has hit a nerve. So I want us to look at all of these reactions and you will understand why in today's society, people really need to start minding the business that pays them. Honestly, let's have a look and listen.
She's from Compton. She's marrying a white man, like her sister. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be very tactful, Art, because I know what Venus and Serena had to go through. And let's also remember, Venus was out there first. She paved the way for Serena. A lot of people forget that. Even though Serena is the greatest tennis player of all time, even though she's starting to get some competition with Coco Gauff and some of these others, shout out to them and the racism that they have to deal with every day. But remember, Art, white people were calling Venus and Serena monkeys, apes, animals. They were not put out the tennis matches. Remember, there were white people asking for Serena Williams to be tested to make sure she was not a man. They were calling her a transgender, Art, on the field, bro. So imagine, and I don't know what their self-esteem was like before they started playing tennis. Think about that. Their father was a strong black man, but we don't know what their self-esteem was like before that. We don't know who else influenced them. So you got these two young black women, trailblazers, kicking ass all over the tennis world, being disrespected about their hair, their body, their beautiful chocolate skin, their lips, their nose, their buttocks. I love both of them sisters. I love them both, Art. It hurts my soul to see Serena Williams marry outside the race, but I know why she did it. She had been made to feel unattractive. Venus and Serena were the victims of psychological trauma at the hands of white America that Nicki Minaj loves so much, that she says she's so proud of. It was this America that did that to Venus and Serena. White people traumatized them two sisters, Art. And that's why, although I don't agree with Venus's recent decision to marry a white man, I don't agree with Serena's decision to marry a white man. At the end of the day, Art, these two women went into a hostile, white-dominated sport and took it over. And white people never forgave them for it. And in doing that for us, this is how I look at it, Art. And Venus and Serena sacrificing their childhood and their adulthood to show black girls what was possible on the tennis court. The collateral damage was their self-hate. And in order to rescue their self-esteem, they married outside the race because neither one of them wanted their children to look like them. And they didn't want their children to look like them because they didn't want their children to be subject to the same type of ridicule and hurt that they suffered. I'm not giving an excuse because it's unacceptable, but I am giving a psychological explanation for Venus and Serena's behavior. If I saw them walking down the street, Art, I'd give them both a hug because I love what they did for black girls and black women. I love them sisters.
When a white man marries a black woman, it triggers white women's narrative. It triggers the narrative that something was taken from them because their whole life they grew up watching white Disney princesses end up with a white Disney prince. So that's how it goes. That's how you play the game, right? You take this doll and they go together, and that's how you play the game. What's triggered is that you are not supposed to be part of that narrative in any way as a black woman. You are not supposed to reap the benefits of being this close to the top of the hierarchy, right? It's almost like they see it in their eyes as like you've skipped a few steps on the ladder and you've ended up like, you know, in a place that they could have gotten. It's kind of like that problem that white people have with affirmative action, right? It's like, well, what if there was a white person that was qualified to take that spot? And you just took it from them. Like, don't you feel bad? And this is why affirmative action is needed, because people think like that. Like, you just told on yourself very loudly. But that's what it is. They are also confused because a white man isn't supposed to want a black woman.
So Venus Williams has officially tied the knot. They held 2 different ceremonies, one in Italy, one in Miami. And it's being reported that Richard Williams did not attend either ceremony. And I agree with Richard's stance in this. You have to look at this from Richard's standpoint. He put his life on the line for his black daughters to enter in a space that no one wanted them in. Remember, this is in the 90s. This is before the huge influx of black female tennis players. It was no black female tennis players before the Williams sisters. Richard kicked that door open. He protected them. He provided for them. He fought for them. One of the greatest things a daughter can do for her father is bring home a man that honors him. You bringing me home the person I fought against for you. Richard is hurt, man. He's hurt. And he don't have no sons. I don't believe Richard has any sons. So this one really has to hurt. You feel me? And I agree with Richard's stance. I agree with not going.
And I see a bunch of black men and women sharing this picture saying like she's following in the footsteps of her sister and they was raised in a household with black parents and why are they doing this and blah, blah, blah. But to make a long story short, bro, love comes in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. It don't matter. Y'all got to stop being so small, man, in this black community. Y'all black women are so mad that they're not falling to the same statistics that y'all are. Y'all are so mad that they're not got pregnant by black men and they're 2 BMs now. That's why y'all mad. If they was got pregnant by 2 black men and they're now BMs, single BMs, would y'all be saying this? I want to know that. Would y'all be saying that then? No, but the fact that they found 2 men that actually love them and taking care of them and supporting everything they do in life, now it's a problem. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop this in this community, bro. Y'all got to stop. It's okay to explore other options and see what's out there. You don't have to be with the same person with the same color as you. I don't care what nobody says. If I'm with a fucking Chinese person who's purple and they're making me happy, I'm going to be happy. I don't care. It's not about what you think or what's the morals of being a black person or a white person. That has nothing to do with nothing. Love is love.
Most people are unaware that Venus and Andre were actually married in September in Italy, but since the paperwork can take a while to come back in, so that's why they ended up having the Palm Beach, Florida wedding, and it was a 5-day affair. What tickles me always is that how the black men come out in just overwhelming numbers to critique and criticize the fact that she married a white man, an Italian, and overlooking the fact that he's very handsome. I don't like the way that y'all keep saying that Andre looks like Serena's husband. No, the fuck he does not. He looks a whole lot better, and they look nothing alike. I don't see where y'all see the similarities regarding that. But I read about how they met and just how she's been waiting, since she's been single for 6 years. And I also had read, I don't know if this is true, that Venus was even still a virgin. So the fact that she's been waiting on love and waiting for somebody proves that this man had to do something spectacular. y'all black men never have that same energy when it's the other way around, when it's black men that engage in interracial relationships with other women. But y'all love to attack, especially when it's a celebrity woman. If a white man is who she feels that can love her best, so the fuck what? If she's happy, that's all that should matter. Now, did I notice that a lot of people at her wedding, at the small wedding, was a bit whitewashed? Sure. But that's, again, that's their wedding. Those were their choices. I saw that Serena was there to support her. She even said that Serena had gifted them a yacht for their wedding or whatever. And I don't know if that was just a rental or bought, but yeah, they're superstars, y'all. So the fact that she wanted, it's not like he's a broke person. He's a model and an actor. So it's not like he's not bringing his own whatever to the table. But the fact is that a lot of black people are mad because she married a white man. But if you're going to marry white, at least she got one of the gooder ones.
So there you have it. You've heard all these reactions, and what can we say? It is what it is. It's what's happening in the world right now. So here's the part nobody wants to admit. This backlash isn't about Venus marrying a white man. This is about people being uncomfortable when a black woman chooses loyalty, when a black woman chooses happiness over performing loyalty. That's what it is. Because somehow Venus Williams can carry the pressure of being a pioneer, a role model, a symbol, but the moment she makes a personal choice, suddenly she owes everyone an explanation. Now notice how all of this outrage has an expiry date. These same people who are screaming and crying tattoo tears, all of these people crying tattoo tears out here in the streets that this beautiful woman in her 40s decided to marry a hot, young Italian stud, were not there when she had all her numerous injuries. They were not there for the countless heartaches. They were not there when black men were calling them unattractive, calling them manly, not feminine enough, talking about their height, their face, their smile. These same men are the men that also marry outside their race. So nobody is keeping this same energy for black men who decide for whatever reason that they don't want to be with a black partner. So all Venus Williams did is find love. She's not abandoning anything. She hasn't stopped anything. She's still who she is. This outrage is only because she's rich, and they somehow feel that they should have access, or the money should be spent on someone who is of the same race. Did you hear that man say that he would have taken the same stance as Richard for not attending the wedding? This is the kind of clown shit that I'm talking about. So guys, before I start yapping on, let me know, because I personally think that Venus is living her life. She hasn't betrayed anyone. Love is love. You love who you love. There are people who do not like interracial marriages. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's be open and honest and be free to express ourselves. On here, as long as you're respectful, you can say whatever you want to say. You don't have to agree with me. So let me know what your thoughts and comments are in the comment section, and I'll see you in another reaction video. Thank you. Bye-bye.